Let me introduce you to Bo Miles, a unique and likable guy. Everyday life, friends and family makes up the honest dream.
All right, here we are, another episode of the Artistry of Podcasts. I am your dog, your doggy, dog. It's a crazy mixed up world. It's a doggy dog's world. It's a doggy dog's world. Bo Miles. Man, it's rainy. I had a birthday that was Saturday that passed, and look, I mean, what's the deal, right? What's the deal? So it's a few things that I wanted to talk about. Now, normally I usually pick a topic, you know, and I just kind of hang around that, but I don't know how I'm gonna be like looking ahead. All right, moving forward, will I be able to do that? You know, moving forward, will I be able to do that? So I think in the long term, the way it could work is if I just pick a topic throughout the week, something that's current, that's happening, and then I just talk about it and relate it, right? That's one way. And just, you know, looking at my past to try to understand things that are happening now. That's one way. And like revisiting certain topics because the ones that I finished already is still so much more content that can be added, right? I didn't talk about 100% of all of those things. And so that's one method. And I think that it kind of grounds the episode in that way a person knows, okay, look, this is what he's talking about. And then you get my titles. My titles are I would say they're obtuse. I would go with that, and I like that. I really like when I look at a topic that I've done, because I name my episodes after it's all finished, and once it's up and I have it on the computer, right? So I have the file on the computer, I have it in Vegas, and I hit render as an MP3. At that moment, then I give it a name. Right. So that's how I name it. So if we take, and like, I don't even remember any of the names. I don't remember any of the names that I've named my podcast. The Arrival. Let's just go with that one, which I really feel like I've named one of them Arrival already. Right. So you look at the topic, and the main topic, I would say that just speaking on what was happening, right, in my life, and coming to the conclusion that, okay, we're starting this thing back up. It's going to be different. We lost one. So if you look at the movie Arrival, there's a few parallels there, and I'm not going to say what those are, only because it's a spoiler for some of you guys, which that movie was a really good movie. But if we go before the movie and we're just looking at the word, like alive on arrival, right, which it would be dead on arrival. Looking at the the Western frontier and outlaws and things like that, bounty hunters. You could draw similarities there, just looking at the word itself and looking at the definition you can draw. So I try to have it multi-layered, right? I try to keep it multi-layered so that way it's left open for interpretation. That's how I pick my titles. That's how I run after I record, after I say whatever topic, then I try to find something that's close, but also that is broad enough so that each individual is going to mean something different to every person who listens, every person who reads the title. And the title is just like a sign on a name tag. You're at the airport and you're trying to get Jonathan Wesley, right? You're trying to get Jonathan Wesley, but your tag says Robertson. Your tag says R. Kelly, says Robert Kelly, but you're looking for Jonathan Wesley. Like, yo, you're never going to get Jonathan Wesley if your tag says Robert Robertson, right? The best thing that you need to do is to write Jonathan Wesley on your cardboard box and you hold it up. And when Jonathan walks by and he sees it, then he's going to, hey, that's me. And then he gets into the limo and he drives off. He's got his ride. He's looking for his ride. His ride is looking for him. There's so many other limos, right? So my titles, that's what they are. They're calling certain people, like, because people are looking, people go through the search. Now, some of you guys know me. So, I put up, hey, I just released an episode, and some of you guys will go and check it out, which I greatly appreciate it. Some of you guys know me and like me enough that you was like, yeah, look, let me go ahead and subscribe. And you subscribed and you actually listen, right? So that's good. So what does the title say to you guys, right? And it gives you, like I said, it's open for interpretation. But now you have to listen a little bit to see, okay, what is this arrival, right? You have an idea, but as you listen, hopefully it touches and it strikes a chord with you. So that's how I pick my titles, right? And my topics, like I said, I usually come in. So like I already know what. Now I had a plan for this episode, and so it was still going to be on following the structure of my previous the reboot, right? The reboot, because before the reboot we had just random conversations, right? Me and Fid, we would just randomly talk and just whatever. We just talking. We're talking about current events. We're talking about whatever. Then we would interview people, right? Talk about their profession, talk about whatever they're into, if they're a musician, if they're a prostitute, if they are, I think that's all we had, musicians and prostitutes. So, yeah. Wow. Now, I wanted to get an artist, right? Like I wanted to get an artist. Maybe we had a business. We had entrepreneurs, right? So we had entrepreneurs and that's always good because I think a lot of times black people just get labeled in entertainment, and that's not bad. That's not bad. It's not a bad thing to excel and to look for entertainment as a source to make money, because that's how we've been making money since our relationship in this country and our relationship with the Western culture. Western civilization has been through entertainment. And if you go back, they say the oldest profession in the world is entertainment. It's an entertainment based field, right? And then as you build the community, and then you start to create little towns and cities and hubs and imports and exports, then you start to get other jobs, right? And I was even watching, because I've been fascinated with early culture, early civilization, right? Our story. What is our story? Going way back, right? Going way back and really looking at it, letting the fossils tell the story, right? Just letting the fossils tell our story. And what do you find, right? So I've been really on that. Just looking. Let's just look at the evidence. Let's just look at the fossil records, right? And so that's what I've been on recently. I've moved away from music. Like, I haven't played music since I've moved to South Carolina, right? The North Carolina area. I haven't played any music. And when my mom passed, I played Over the Rainbow, which is one of my favorite songs. And I was just crying, right? I was crying, and I just thought of my mom. I even sung a little bit, which I can't even think of the words. Right? Let's just pull up the words. It's a beautiful song, just a beautiful song. So I was playing that, and I even sung a little bit, and then I just haven't played. Right? So I'm like, man. So the music is gone. Ooh, I love this joint. Let's see. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, clouds high over the rainbow, makes all your dreams come true. Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Man, it's just a beautiful song. It really is. It is a beautiful song. And so I played a little bit of that, right? Played a little bit, and like I said, I just couldn't. So, boom, the music. And I don't even know what tangent. I don't even know why we're going down there. But this episode, I want to experience this type of episode where I'm like hopping all over, right? I still have a central theme, but for the most part, like, look, I'm hopping over, and I'm not really remembering because I want to stay close to this format in the future. Like, so this way I give a variety of different type of episodes, and it just kind of stays fresh. Now, I'm already aware that, look, some people just can't even handle this style of radio. So that's cool. And I want to be comfortable with it, because everything in me is like, yeah, man, you need a co-host, you need this, you need that. And it goes back to you are enough. Like, you are enough. And I think a lot of times, like, we get away from that. We get away from knowing and feeling that we are enough, that no matter what you want to do, you are enough to achieve and to accomplish that. Because it's like society pushes on us, and cultures is, society and culture pushes, you're not enough. You need something else. You need someone else. You have to, if you want to learn something, go to an expert, right? All of these things are telling you not to listen to yourself, not to believe in yourself. You know the story. You know what happened. And it just takes a certain level to really get to where you're like, okay, I am enough, right? So I'm like, look, what if I never get a co-host? Then what? I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do the Artistry Of podcast no more. I'm just gonna come up with some excuse. Like, nah, right? So that's that. And ultimately, like I was talking about with just entertainment, right? And for the most part, I know I have an idea of where I was as far as hovering around what ideas I'm talking about. But even though it won't be exact, and that's fine, because like I said, I want to develop this style where I'm hopping around. This is a variety. So you have this style of an episode. You have my themed ones that's actually just sticks to a certain topic, and all of those stories support that one topic. Then you have your interviews. I want to interlude in the nude. And then eventually we'll even have the musical ones, because I have some musical ideas. That's really one of my favorite one. Like, my favorite episode is Interstellar. I haven't listened to it in a while, and I'll probably listen to it maybe in a couple months, or I might even, just because, like, just where my plate is, I know. But entertainment, like I was saying about entertainment, like, it's okay because that's where we were. We were just entertaining, right? Just as black people. So that's one of our biggest fields now, is entertainment. And you can come up and think about all the different ways that people entertain, and it's not just black people, but when you have that relationship of slavery in this country, then that's where you land. You land on entertainment, because they're gonna make every dime and every dollar off of you, and you have to survive. You have to figure out, look, no matter what, we just have to survive. We just have to live and keep living, and the conditions will change. And it did. The conditions have changed. Right? And like, I don't see slavery as some bad thing that the white man does. Like, I don't see that. Slavery is what the strong will do to the weak. And it's actually mercy. Slavery is mercy. And we're going back. We're going to our apocalypto days. Right? Because America made it an industry. America turned it into a financial gain, monetary, right? That's what America did far as Western culture. When we say America, we're not talking about the indigenous people of this land, right? We're not talking about them, because they called it something else. And whatever they called this place, that's what they are. And I feel like that's what we really need to figure that out and call them by that name. Right? Like, that's what we need to do. And instead of instead of saying, okay, the indigenous people of this land, well, they named it, I'm sure. And just the culture, there's so many things. So that's definitely a big discussion. But when we really look at slavery from a financial standpoint, so let's go back, right? We're going back to our apocalypto days, and we're looking at slavery. So you have your scouts, have people who go out hunting. They're going hunting for food. They come across a village. Now, it could go one or two ways. This village could be all good. They could be all friendly. We come across this village, so like, all right, let's say me and you and the crew is a whole, like, I think all, I don't know, probably like 40. I think the last time I looked, I want to say like 40 people downloaded. What episode was that? It was the one before last week, so 2 weeks ago. Because I haven't looked at the stats for last week, because I don't want to look, because you get into a routine, and that's how I used to be, where you're constantly checking your stats. You're constantly checking your numbers. Hey, did it grow? Did it grow? You know, and it's like, look, man, that stuff gets tiring. And I just, even then I was like, man, I just can't wait until I'm at a point where I'm not checking the stats, where I'm not worried about my stats. And I remember even with my Amazon, like I have a few products on Amazon. I remember when I first put them up, I would check every day. Okay. All right. How many did we sell? How many did we sell a day? How many? And now, like, I forget all about it until I get that check, right? I get the email. Look, we're releasing the funds. It tells me my territories. You got Japan, you got Australia, you got US, you got the UK. Right. So it'll tell you your territory that the money is being released in 5 days. Right. So it takes that progression. Right. But let's get back, and hopefully, you know, I'll be able to reel myself back in. Right. So boom, the 40 of us, we're going out hunting. Right. We're looking for food. We're in the jungle. We're in the brush, the thick brush. We're looking. We're hunting. We're out there tracking. We need some big game. All right. We have kids in the village. We look. We've been eating berries and nuts and small things that we've been. Look, man. We need some real protein right now. All right. So we've been tracking this thing, and then we come up on another tribe. We come up on another tribe, right? Now what? Now what? So in order to answer this question, you got to remember that 9 times out of 10, like I said, it's going to go one or two ways, right? So the one or two ways is going to be how have we interacted? How, because all right, if now we're the 20 somethings, we're the 18-year-olds, we're the 15, because we already know from the last episode, well, from whenever episode was the fighting. We was talking about all the fighting. We know that kids 13 on up, they be fighting. They fight a lot. So if we're 13, look, I mean, how was our interaction when we were 7, when we were 6? Did our village get raided? Did they get invaded? Did some other village come through and fight and kill? Did I watch my dad get murdered in front of me? Right? Did I watch my brother? Did I watch my sisters or my mom get raped in front of me and the village burned down? And maybe one of my little homies, maybe he got murdered right in front of me. The rest of us, we ran and we fled to the jungle for safety. Is that the story? Or was it one where we met a village and my dad or my uncles, they all talked it out. Maybe they knew him. and everything was all good, and it went back to your regular scheduled program. So we look at that. Okay, how was our interaction when we were kids? Because that's going to shape how we're going to handle this new village, these new people that we came across. So, because we're talking about slavery, and this whole episode is not going to be about slavery, but because we're talking about it right now, let's say that things wasn't looking good for us. Maybe somebody watched that. Look, we watched the village get burned down. Right? We got a couple people that's listening to us that's not even from our initial tribe. Like, they didn't even grow up in our tribe. They're part of the new tribe because their village got ransacked and burned down. And they've been out there in the jungle fending for themselves. And then we're in the jungle fending for ourselves, but we are young. So it's going to be easy to bring them in. Yo, all right, you from Armenia? All right, dog, come on in. You from Texas? Oh, come on in. You from Canada? Yo, come on in. You from Chile? Come on in, right? It's easy because we young. It's going to be easy to look, y'all got burnt down too? Come on in. Now we're a squad. We have that. All of us have that in mind. So when we come up on this new village, 9 times out of 10, we're going to come up on a new tribe. Right? Let's say we didn't even see where they're living. We just see them right up in the middle. So, boom, we might hide. Oh, yo, watch them. They tracking. Maybe they tracking the food. Yo, nah, man, we need that. Well, this jaguar. If we don't get this jaguar and take him back, who knows what's going to happen, right? We don't get this wildebeest. Who knows what's going to happen to the tribe? Then everybody going to look, if we ain't bringing enough food, and people going to split and just start looking out for themselves. That we know. Yo, if we ain't eating another episode, right? We ain't eating. So we already know when you get those type of situations, that's when the group is going to be the most fragile. And I remember we were downtown just trying to rob people. And, man, I was just starving. I was so hungry. And it was me and the homie Crazy. And y'all can imagine with a nickname like Crazy. I mean, look, back then you had to earn your name. So it wasn't like they just, everybody called me Crazy. Like, yo, he earned that. He earned that name. So me and Crazy, we out there trying to rob people. No weapons, so don't worry. We didn't have any. We were kids. So just strong arming. And I remember we finally, some guy just felt sorry for us. Look, man, y'all lightweight, man. Here, take $7. Take $5, man. Look, just take this $5 and it's just crazy. Like, yo, we got busted. I think Crazy had a BB gun. Just imagine that. I'd have been in fucking jail, in prison, armed robbery, because that's what they would have hit me with, that armed robbery. Who knows how much time that gets you, right? Who knows how much time that gets you? They're like, yo, and you wonder why people don't care. Like, yo, you wonder why. Like, yo, y'all, I'm just reflecting what y'all reflecting to me. Y'all don't care about me. Y'all not saying like, yo, man, he just a kid, he hungry. Like, yo, nah, that ain't the deal, right? So you starving, like, yo, and I have so many memories of starving, wanting to eat the paint off the walls. They start looking like chocolate chips. They start looking like vanilla wafers, right? So I remember, I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling of starvation. You just starving, right? So boom, we were here. We are back to the tribe, right? We can't let that happen. Once people start starving, once people they gonna break and they gonna go out on their own. And all right, if it's 40 of us, like our numbers. Remember from the other episode, your numbers. That's what gives you strength. It's your numbers. Your numbers give you strength. Things that can happen to one, it's not, when you got 40 people around, like, yo, that's not going to happen. I don't care what it is. It's not going to happen, right? So we got to maintain our numbers. This other group, they looking, right? So if we catch another group like us looking and they trying to hunt as well, look, do we feel like we can take them? Do we feel like we can just let them do the work and then we just go in and take the food? They're not going to let us take the food. Y'all know what time it is, right? Y'all know what time it is. So as soon as we get at some, even if we let them, boom, we let them tire out, we let them go and hunt, boom, then we rush them. We take the food. Now, if we go and we see them, their village, we see their village, we see they're cooking. Right, we're starving, man. We've been searching. They got a few pigs. They got a few whatever. It's like, yo, man, nah, we got to take that, but they just not gonna let us take it. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna have to take that, right? Commotion and fear, like that just does something to you. Now, if it's, let's say if our group is 4, so we got 40 people hunting, right? Then that means we at least got 10 back at our village, right? We got 10 people back at our village. All right. Protecting. There's 40 of us. We 40 deep. Come up on a village. Look, man. 13 up to maybe 18, right? Like I said, because we're talking about slavery, then look, man, our people got wiped out. We got different villages that even came together right now. So we not going to let this village do that to us. We got to do it first. You know, Pac, like, yo, bomb first. That's just what's going to happen. Boom, we rush them, right? Now, some of you guys, you've never been in like big brawls and things like that. But what happens is your senses, like, they increase, like things slow down. But at the same time, you get like real focused. You get real focused. So it's like you can see a lot of stuff, but at the same time, you like zone in. So you can get hit. You can get hit by your blind side. Bam. Oh, boom. You do a quick turnaround, scope out, engage in the situation. All right, boom. Now you focused, right? You know, okay, the last time I did this scan, I did a 360 scan. It was only, 2 dudes right here. Right? Boom. You focus on them. And you see like other stuff and, your boys, everybody fighting. But when you have loved ones, in that type of situation, what happens is you think about them. So now you can't really focus. You can't really focus the way you need to focus in a war. Right. And if you even look at like American war, other than the Civil War, like all the wars have been off of our soil. We haven't allowed any wars to take place on this soil. Even you look at the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Like, all right, they did the bombing, but like, we took the fight to them, right? And they're like, look, nah, we try and take the fight to y'all, right? So you have. Look, you're not really trying to invade, right? You want to invade the land, but as far as if someone is coming to invade your land, you don't want that to happen because now you have to focus on your loved ones, right? So remember, I told you, like, when it's go time, you just zone in on the targets. You zone in on the threats. You lock in on your threats. When you get hit, like you don't even see it coming because it's like real focused, and it's an intensity thing. Slow down, and if I put your little brother in that equation, look, man, I gotta get my little brother to safety. Well, now you're not thinking about these threats. Then remember that I just told you just got hit. You didn't even see that hit. Right. And you was looking at these other two. You was fighting this one. You didn't even see, yo, this dude, where did this guy come from? Right. Where did this guy come from? So, so now we come up on this village. We screaming. We starting this fires, all of this chaos. People just going crazy, like the women and the children. The women are thinking about the children. The men are thinking about the women and the children. So if they thinking about the women and the children, then they're not thinking about us, the invaders. Now you got a few who don't have any women, who don't have any children. Yeah, they're focused on us. But that's going to be a small number. You're going to see a lot of chaos. And remember what I told you. Like you're doing these 360 sweeps. You're scanning. Boom, you're scanning. It's so much information coming in. You see that fire over there. All right, you just make note of it. You got to look at your threats, make sure that you're safe and you're engaged. And before you know it, man, like, yo, this village, man, they wasn't savage enough, but they wasn't savage enough because they had people to protect. They're thinking about protecting. They're not thinking about being a savage. We have the luxury of thinking only of savagery, right? So as boom, we start to take down the men. We're taking them down. We're dwindling in the numbers, right? Boom. Now, like I said, you got these older guys. You know what time it is, right? Boom. So you got that. And then just depending on how ruthless the leader is, that's going to dictate what they do to the rest of the village. 9 times out of 10, we're going to take everything, all of the food, right? All of the food, probably take some of the women, probably take some of the kids for slavery. So boom, now we're finally there. We're finally at slavery, right? We're taking the women and we're taking the children as slaves, as our conquered slaves. We conquered the men. Now we're taking them. Now, if their little village looks good, if it looks good enough to where it can be saved and we can build on the protection, right? Some guys are just going to give up, right? So just depending on how ruthless we were in battle, did we kill all of the men? Did we take some as for our slaves, right? Did we kill all the women? Did we take some for our slaves, right? Now we're talking about slavery, so let's say that we did take some. We took some as slaves. Some of the conquered men, right? The ones that's alive that didn't escape, the kids who didn't escape, the people who didn't escape, boom, now they coming with us. We're taking them back to the village, especially if we feel like we have a high ground. Maybe our spot is on the elevation, so you have to actually climb up. You have to come up, right? That's in our favor. If you have to come up to get to us, that's in our favor, right? So these type of things weigh heavenly. Then we have our slaves, right? What are we using them for? Now remember, I mean, we're out hunting. We're really barely eating, right? All right. If I'm the leader, look, I don't want us starving, because we already know what starvation brings, right? Now we're susceptible to being conquered. Now we're susceptible. So it's like, man, right? So that's, what do we keep them? Do we keep them? Do we keep them? Do we kill them? Right? What is it? we're not. It's not like we're now depending on what the village look like now from a strategic standpoint. Or if I don't want us to starve. If this village, let's say they're farming, they're gardening, right? So they're using farming principles. Maybe we don't. If we're not doing that, if we're just going through, or maybe we got like a little small, but we could use more. Then boom, we're gonna bring these people in, and now we can maybe look. You teach our people, right? Teach our people. So, here, let me pause. I'll be back, and hopefully I remember what I was talking about. All right, so who knows? I know that we were scoping out this village. We took them back as slaves, but we had to evaluate. So we got them captured, right? We got them captured, but we found a need for them, because other than that, we don't need to add to the group if that's just going to require us to feed more people. But we found a need because they have this village has let's just give them some farming. They have better farming techniques than we do. So we take the kids, some of the whatever kids we could get. We take them, and we have the women that were doing the farming, and we took some of the women for wives and so forth. Right? So with that in mind, now we're looking, with that in mind, now we're saying, okay, all right, are we good? I really don't want any side bickering, right? So we took a few because we have a basic need, right? But what we have now, we have an issue of, okay, look, after this, all right, they had a few pigs, they had a few livestock, but look, man, we're going to have to feed all of these people in a couple weeks, or let's say this stuff lasts us a month. All right, what's going to happen, right? So you have those things. So ultimately, what we came across is a basic form of slavery, but it was the need. Okay, what need do they serve, right? What purpose do they serve in this little small nomadic tribe? We're constantly moving around. We found a little spot, right? But we're small. Now, there's no need. They could still entertain us, right? Because ultimately what we're saying is that black slavery, we were able to entertain, right? We were able to entertain, but ultimately, like, when you really look at it, our ideas are a little warped, right? So now let's go back, or we got to come forward, because we were back before villages, right? Before there was a real village in a sense, or a town. We had like a little small, I guess you could call it a village, right? But we had like a little small gathering of maybe 40 to 60 people. Right? So that's small. That's small time. So now as we come up, let's stop around right in the thick. Let's start at the beginning of slavery. Right? So we go in, we see some people, we have a need. So you have to have a need, right? So that means, boom, we then left Europe, we came over to this country, and we're still apart, right? We're still apart because we didn't even achieve our independence until the 1700s, right? So we're talking about the 1400s, or we're talking about the 1600s. Boom, we left Europe, but we're over in the extension, right? We're over in the extension, and we have these fields, we have these plants, we have farming, we have all of these things, right? We have rice, but workers. Now we get in a few slaves, indentured slaves, so they come over from Europe. Look, man, my cousin, he has 20 guys that's coming over. Yo, they're gonna work these fields for you, right? Okay, all right, and I'm gonna give them some of the crop, give them some of the harvest, give them about let's give them 5 to 10%, right? Now, after so many years, because that's the way they're even going to get over here. They want to leave Europe for an opportunity. Well, you got to work. That's how they selling it. My cousin's selling. Look, man, I can get you over to America, to the new land. I get you over to the Americas. But look, man, you got to grind out for a few months, right? Look, after you hit it for a few months, my cousin going to put you up in this place. He got a nice place for you to live. And you're out there. You're good to go, right? So you come over, you work a little bit, and then you're able to, get yourself established, and then you move on, right? So really what we're saying is that you're going to have a high turnover rate. So we have the product, but we have a high turnover rate. Like, yo, so what are we going to do? Well, look, man, we can take certain people, bring them over here, and just have them as our slaves indefinitely. Look, this is just forever, from the root to the fruit, and they working. They don't know the land. They don't know the language. They don't have any real rights. We don't owe them anything. And then we can start breeding them. And now look. So the breeding part is not even gonna come up yet. We just look, let's just get these people over here working, and they working for free. Boom, that sounds like a good plan. Right? But you already know the breeding had to been in the idea, but the first one, it wasn't even, you didn't even think about breeding, right? But eventually what happened is, all right, so we're paying to get these slaves, right? I'm paying, I just paid for 1 or 2. It's like, yo, why do I keep paying? We can start making them, right? Look, I got a woman that I'm beating up as far as sexually, not physically. And I know a lot of you guys feel like there was a lot of physical violence, which rape is violent, right? Rape, but even if what do they call it? There's like abusing power. So when a person has leverage and power over you, and y'all engage in any type of sexual activity, that is considered rape. Even if the one without power says that no, it's not. And that's why we get like statutory rape type of things, where if it's a younger girl or a younger guy, but normally it's younger girls. We don't really care about younger guys. But if there's a younger girl and she's having sex with an older man, we'll call that rape, even though she didn't say no and she loves him. She's actually in love with him. He treats her nice and he buys her things and he listens to her. But nah, that's rape, because you're using power. You're using these things that you have over her to manipulate her. And so that's what you have going on, right? So we have a female that's going to clean the house, but look, I'm also going to have sex with her. And then we have a guy who's out there working the fields and working in these plantations. Before their plantation, they're just regular, whatever the small scale of it would be. And then when I go buy my next one, I'm like, look, man, if I can just breed them, I can cut out buying. Look, why am I paying 30,000, right? And which is like today's equivalence of how much a slave was. So if you just think about cars, like that's how people were doing with slavery in those early days. So I think you could buy one, but they were like maybe 500 or 1,500, but it was the equivalent of $30,000. So it's like, look, why spend another 30 when I can get the blue car and a pink car, and that alone will keep making blue and pink cars. Now, yeah, I gotta wait on my return, right? My return on investment is gonna take at least 15 years. But if we get the nice muscle ones, look, these kids can start working, start hustling early. You probably look, you can start working them at maybe 6. They can do light work, right? But the real hardcore work, all right, 15, 11, right? 11. And by 15, like, look, you in the thick, like you pretty much a grown man, right? By 15, you pretty much a grown woman. You pretty much a grown man. So you're going to be doing whatever work the grown men are doing, whatever work the grown women are doing. So we're just maximizing our profit, right? So just looking at it in this small scale, then we introduce Ricardo, or what's a good name? Francis, right? Francis from down the street. He said one of my slaves looked at his wife, put up the V, right? Made the V with his hands, and then like was licking. That's what Francis said that one of my slaves did to his wife, or to his daughter. One of my little slaves made like a circle, and then he did 2 fingers. Ooh, because he got that little thick rod, and he was jamming them in and out real fast, and he started doing slow. He started working it. You feel me? Like, yo, he was beating it up. And that's what he did to Francis's daughter, and Francis don't like that, right? So he come over on my property. He want to beat one of my slaves, right? Do you really think that I'm going to let him do that? Nah, because they're an extension of me, right? If he can just come over and beat and like destroy my property, well then now I can't work him, right? Look, he got real work to do. He got money to make for me. Like, nah, he get my protection, right? But we don't talk about that when we talk about slavery. We just think that, look, anybody just coming over, they just beating up slaves. You think I'm gonna let somebody beat up my slaves? You think I'm gonna let somebody kidnap my slave? You must be crazy. You must be crazy. That is not gonna happen. That's just like in today, I'm not gonna let anybody come in my house and take anything from me. Nah, that's how you lose your life. You think you're just gonna come in my house and take something? Then you just, look, man, let me get that TV, man. Give me that. Yo, give me that. Give me those monitors, man. Oh, you got that Tekken on that new PC? Yo, that's my PC now. Nah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And those same type of politics was working even back then, because if you let one person beat up your slave or rape your slave, come on, are you serious? Like, yo, this my bottom bitch. You think I'm gonna let y'all get in that? Are you serious? No. You say yeah. You say no. Like, yo, that's just not gonna happen. Because if I let anybody do it, then everybody gonna do it. That's taking away my money. Think I'm gonna let you take away my money? Think I'm gonna let you stop this money? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Right? So we have to understand that. We have to understand that slave owners were not letting anybody just come over and just have open season on their slaves. That wasn't happening. No. Nah. Now, if you don't got no power and somebody with power, so let's say, this is the governor's nephew, or right? Okay, all right, I can see that. Because all right, you just if you don't have no power, so you just a startup, it's easy for some of these big corporations, some of these big plantation and slave owners to come on and wreck shop, because the whole idea is that, boom, we take away your slaves, we take away your money, right? Like, that's the whole idea. So if I'm the big boy in town and you're a startup, only thing I gotta do is take away your slaves, and now you can't even get nothing moving, right? So you probably got a loan on your slaves anyway. Well, what's the mortgage on that? You paying on that. You paying on your slaves. So we take away your slaves, you're going to fall on the loan, you're going to bankrupt. Well, who going to scoop up that business? Me. I'm going to scoop up that business. I didn't cause this to even happen. Now I can see that. That will happen. That's as old as a tale as old as time. Oh, when I can see, it was all the time. Tale as old as time. Beauty and the Beast. Another banger, right? So I can see that, right? Another thing, because we're talking about maximizing. So let's go back before we have the takeover and intimidation from a bigger corporation, right? Because these bigger corporations are going to just gobble up the mom and pop shops. They're going to gobble them up. So let's go back before we get to that. I just picked up my male and my female. They're breeding, right? We got some kids in the works now, but we got to keep that time. Okay, how long can she work? Look, man, I'm not going to work her so that the babies die, because the babies are more valuable. Because look, this is pure profit now. So this is going to help pay off that loan. So So boom, if I'm in the hole 60 or 100,000 of modern money, right? Back then it probably wouldn't have been that much, but you'd have been like super rich back then if you had that type of money. But so let's say I'm in the hole 100,000. The baby is more valuable because the baby is like a free slave, right? So that's going to offset that money. So we're saying that they going for 1,500, right, or 30,000 current day. The baby is 30,000. So we got a male, that's 30,000. We got a female, that's 30,000. So if my loan is 100, boom, now it's what? 70. Get another kid, now it's what? 40. Right? Get another kid, boom, 10. Get another kid, profit. So these babies like, yo, man, I'm not going to work her so that her baby dies. I'm not. That's just stupid. That's bad business. Each baby is worth 30 racks. Each baby is worth 30 racks. Like, come on. Nah. Yo, I need that baby to live. I need that baby healthy. I need the mom to make sure that this baby is healthy. Because if worst case scenario, I can sell it. Right? Once I get of age, I can sell it. And now I'm making that money. Now, boom, now I become a bank. Right? So that's going to dispel, look, I'm not working her. I'm not working the mom until she has a miscarriage. No, I'm going to work her. Yeah. But that baby is important. That baby is very important because that's what's going to get me out of the hole. Once we get above, well, now we can get some pure profit. Right? We're just on small scale. Now what can we do? Well, we can rent them out, right? You got a little 8-year-old. We'll send a little 8-year-old girl over to my brother-in-law's, right? Close. I'm not just sending them anywhere. I'm not just going to send them, down to freaking Hezekiah, which that wouldn't be that name because they were probably against slavery, right? Hezekiah's would have been against slavery. So I'm not sending them to Hezekiah, but Benjamin, George, right? Thomas, Leopold, those, look, we sending them to them, right? Brawling. We're not sending them to anybody. Nah. I'm sending them to my brother-in-law, right? My little brother. Mainly it's going to be the in-laws because your brother, he might not pay, right? It might be fashionable. He going to be all right if he don't pay, but your brother-in-law, well, he has to pay because if he doesn't pay, and see, that's the thing with your sister. So, all right, your sister doesn't have to pay because that's your sister. But once she gets married, well, look, I mean, are you the man of the house or not? Because if you take a handouts from me, well, I'm the man of your house. And if I'm the man of your house, well, then I get to call shots. Of course I don't want your wife because that's my sister. But like, you're not going to be treated like a man. If I'm the one fronting the bill, right? Like, you going to be like my little bitch. You're going to be working for me. So a brother-in-law doesn't want that. Nah, dog. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. Okay. I'll pay. Or how much you going to pay? Look, give me a deal though. Don't be trying to beat me over the head over some shit you would give to Leopold. Don't give me the Leopold price. Work with me. All right. Okay. So, boom, they making money. So now we got the little 8-year-olds making money for us. right? Doing chores, cleaning up the house, doing odd jobs, right? But the brother-in-law, yo, man, you send them back the way I sent them. Like all that perversion shit. Like, yo, man, look, don't be cutting them up, because we don't know how they're gonna develop. Like, yo, he might be big, and if he's big, but he a little paralyzed in one leg, because you didn't beat him half to death. Like, yo, that's a problem now, because now I'm like, yo, man, my 30,000 that I was hoping to get, like, yo, you just subtracted from that. And like, yo, that's going to be a problem. You feel me? Like, yo, you're not going to get that chance again. And I'm going to definitely handle it. Like, yo, nah. Right? So that's what you're going to get. Like that's the reality of it. That's the reality. And we look at it from this roots standpoint, this roots vantage point, and it just wasn't accurate. Now, those type of things will come later, and it's really actually the same thing that keeps certain neighborhoods oppressed now, right? Where people, the higher ups, what they'll do, it's all for profit. Like, I remember in West Virginia, there was a thing where it was methamphetamines. That's what the people were making. Mainly white people. White people were dealing meth, right? And so what was happening is a lot of money was being made, but not just from drug dealers, but from these companies who made the products, who made the ingredients to make the meth. That stuff went up. So they were making a profit. Yo, we selling a lot of whatever their medicines where they had Sudafed in it, because that's one of the ingredients. And I'm sure there was, I want to say it was like maybe three ingredients. So it's like, so that's being made. So that's people actually making money. So we're looking at the reality. Now, like I was saying, okay, the same things that plague us today was plaguing us back then, right? We got the meth, like I was saying. The creation of meth had a spike in sales in certain medicines. So that means the people who own those patents on those medicines, they saw an increase in their profit, right? They saw an increase in their profit. And they were saying it for a while, like, yo, this stuff didn't just happen. They saw it for a while. So then Congress and other politicians went to them, because you got lobbies, people who are lobbying, and they're saying like, yo, I have this new medicine, right? So like, yo, I don't want you selling that medicine. Well, like, yo, I'm making money hand over fist off of this medicine. No, I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it off the board. Like, yo, you got an alternative? You know, like, yo, I'm just not going to stop my money. Like, yo, people just don't do that. You know, like all of these marketing gurus, right? And I'm not talking about Gary Vee, because Gary Vee is solid. Like, he is. Gary Vee is solid. But there are some of them who, look, I'm going to show you how to get rich. I'm going to show you how to make $1 million. I'm going to show you how to make $1 million in a year. Right? And it's like, come on, man. You're not going to show me how to make $1 million. Like, you're not. What are you going to do? Give me your debit card and then give me the PIN number to it, No, because every million I make, I'm taking millions from you. If this is the hustle, look, man, I'm gonna show you how I play Eddie Gordo. I'm gonna show you how I beat these people. I'm gonna show you how to beat me. And then we're gonna go to the tournament and I'm gonna lose and like, yo, I'm gonna be happy. Like, nah, man, it just doesn't work like that. So power doesn't relinquish power. Power has to be taken. So you're looking at this medicine. Nah, man, we're not giving that up. So you take years and years and years of lobbying. Boom, what's going to happen? Are we going to get I need Congress people, I need people in office that will revoke this medicine so that my medicine can work. So that my medicine people can start using my medicine. Right? So that's what you have. That's the type of war you have going on. So then what happened? They finally pushed it to where they took certain medicines out of. So first they was like, yo, all right, well, you need a prescription to buy this. You need this to get this. You need this, and this. And then they said, boom, let's take it out of this medicine completely because you don't really even need it in there. So then they start taking whatever that was. They start taking it out. So then what happened? Then the druggies started using heroin, using that heroin. They using heroin now. So now heroin gets a spike. Heroin is tied to South America. It's, so meth was made here in America, made in the old US of A. Right? These guys, they was cooking it up, cutting it up, separating it. I mean, like, yo, that's crazy, right? They're separating it. So they get medicines. Look, we're going to buy this medicine. We're going to separate it. So whatever we're trying to extract from it, we're going to extract it. I found the process, how we can separate just this one chemical. And then we grab this medicine, we grab this one chemical from that. Right? People were blowing themselves up. They were blowing up kids. Whenever people say something about kids and women and kids being murdered or killed, that's political. That's because they know that that's going to strike a chord in the people and make the people ask for movement a lot faster, ask for action. But the truth is like, yo, they don't care. I could really care less. That's the truth. But they just put it out there. Oh, women are being raped, right? That's just to get a reaction out of you so that you get mad and you get angry. Like I was watching this show last night and it was this black guy. He killed a white woman. I think it was around Christmas time in Milwaukee. And she was going to work. It was like 5 something in the morning. She was going to work and this black guy shot her. He went to rob her and he shot her and then he fled. So they grabbed all of the cameras. They grabbed the cameras and they was like, yo, boom. So they had it on tape, the murder. But it's one of those street cams, so it wasn't clear. They checking gum and cigarettes and things like that was on the ground. They thought maybe he might have dropped. See if they could get DNA profile. Ultimately, what happened was there was a guy who got locked up and he just started singing, when it's cold outside, girl, who are you? I know you want to leave me, but I review the cups of the rose. Like, yo, he was taking requests. You feel me? So he's like, yo, man, I've been locked up since I was 14. I want to get out. Right? So he was singing because he wanted to get out early. Look, man, y'all let me go. I can help y'all solve this case. I don't know if he got out. I think he did just because they didn't even say anything else about it. Right? So I think they made a deal with him. So he told him, yo, this dude was crying and saying that he killed the lady. They was like, yo, so who else knows? He was like, yo, his girl was there. So they questioned the girl. She was holding it down at first, but then she slipped up. She somehow, some way, they ended up escorting her back to her place. There they saw the guy run. So then they lied to her and said, look, we can charge you. You know, they just lied. Like, and I get it. You know, it's just a game. They lied and they got her to crack. And then they finally got him in. And they didn't have any evidence, really, other than a convict who was saying that he was there. But they didn't have any evidence. But they told him that they did. And eventually he just confessed. Right? He was crying. He was remorseful. He got 30 years. Right? Man, it just made me mad, man. The woman, I mean, she seemed like a nice woman. She didn't deserve it, right? No, but no one deserves it, right? No one deserves it. But that infuriated me, right? Like, that infuriated me. And I just imagine if I was white, now it would have been a color issue. Now it would have been, you know, niggers and whatever else. You feel me? Like I was mad, and I'm black, and it was a white woman. I was mad. So once you add any other small things to it, then now those small things are going to start to grow as well. So now it's growing racism. Now it's, look, see, that's why you can't trust them, and you can't, you know. So, and it's just growing hate, right? But the just being furious and enraged is going to be natural. That was natural. And then they show one where this black guy, he kidnapped, and it's just crazy, like how they're showing that stuff now, right? Like, come on. There's always stories, but so they showed, this was yesterday, and the day before yesterday was a black guy killing some older white guy and kidnapping his wife and raping his wife. It's like, oh man. I was, like I said, like, yo, I was enraged already. But once you add, but if I was white and I'm enraged, now, boom, now I'm feeding hatred. Right? So they put up these stories. That's why they even put these stories out there. They have hundreds of stories. There's like, people murder. That's just, murder is murder. Murder was the case that they gave me. Dear God, I wonder, can they save me? I can't die. My boo-boo's about to have my baby. Right? They got thousands of cases of murder and rape. So when they pick a certain case, it's a reason. They just don't just do it. Just throw it up in the air and see what sticks. Like, nah, it's with an agenda. Right? Everything has an agenda. So you got these meth labs, they blowing up these meth labs, and kids are getting killed. Women are being destroyed because of the men who are building these meth labs. But the truth of the matter is, look, it's money. These guys are getting money off of this certain thing, and we want to get money off of this. So boom, now you got the heroin. Heroin is selling. That, like I said, that's tied to South America. You got politicians who are getting money. So when heroin is buying, like, yo, that's not made in America. They're not making that stuff in America, right? They're making it overseas. Well, over the border and overseas. I mean, you have like Vietnam and some other places as well, Asian countries and then Africa, you know, but that's, I mean, it gets big. It gets big, and it's always, you know, a huge thing where it's always people out there making money, right? But now they're making money, right? The politicians that's in cahoots with across the border, like, and overseas, they're making money now. They're seeing a surgence, right? And the things that, all the elements that it takes to even make it, like those elements are being sold. So we're not even talking about the actual smack, right? We're not talking about the Iron Maiden herself. We're talking about what goes into the Iron Maiden, all of those things. So now, boom, sales are looking good. So then what happens? Meth gets a resurgence because, look, we don't got money to buy this heroin. We don't have money for it. And it's like, yo, so now we got to do synthetic type of products so that we can get this meth. So it comes back with a resurgence. And it's like, boom. So that's really what's going on. You have a war at the top that's really being played out with all of the ingredients. And it just trickles down to the lower level, right? You got the Maiden versus the Iron Horse's teeth or whatever, right? Whatever they're going to call it. So that's going to play out. And that is what will cause brutality to blacks. Right? That's what's going to cause the brutality. There's those elements there where people are allowing this stuff to happen, where they're saying, okay, now that they are free, right? And that's where a lot of your brutality even happened. It would have been in the North, and in the South, it would have been after the Reconstruction, right? Reconstruction, there was no Reconstruction, right? Like they just made a deal and all the Northern troops pulled out of the South. This is after the war, and then it just collapsed overnight. And white rule was brutally enforced. That's where all the brutality comes in, because now this is no longer my property. Now I'm vengeful now, because before, when it was my property, I'm not going to let anybody just come and mess up my money and mess up my property. Like, that's not going to happen. So if I got 600, let's say, boom, I got 50 slaves. That means I got some real money. That means, well, I can pay my own little militia, right? I got my own squad that's going to protect. And I'll give them, look, y'all can pay me and have sex with a few of them, the ones that I don't like personally, right? So, all right, I'll be like a little pimp. Y'all can pay me. And this is the same type of deal that they was doing to black people after so-called, whatever the name of it is, the emancipation, right? So after slavery ended, like I said, it was just replaced with sharecropping. But sharecropping was going on with the white people. So if I got slaves, boom, you sharecropping. I got a white guy he's instead of like farming, he's doing protection work. He's doing supervising work. He's out there actually mingling with them. And you can, so boom, what are we sharecropping? So now, all right, give you a little ration for you to trade, and give you a little bit of wine, give you a little bit of beer to drink, right? I give you alcohol. I give you some rice. I give you a little bit of cotton. You can take that. You can trade that somewhere, right? I'll give you, like I said, I'll let you hit a few of the chicks that I don't want anymore, right? You can do that. So that's what's going on. And that just extended once slavery was ended and abolished. Boom. You just throw that on to the blacks. It's like, yo, y'all free, but yo, y'all don't have the context. Y'all don't have to connect. How y'all gonna make this money? All right, you know how to farm, but you don't have no land. Right? You don't have anything. You have the skill, but you don't have a way into the door. I already have that relationship. Y'all come work for me. And now it's business as usual, but I'll pay y'all now, but I'm going to charge you double, triple for everything. Y'all didn't have to pay for that stuff at first. But now you got to pay. Right? So then that's where you get the brutality. Now that's where all those brutal stories and then, like I said, is the resentment, because as the government steps in and says like, yo, that's wrong. Now it's like, yo, man, is every man for themselves then? Well, I'm not going to protect you. Now you don't have my protection. So now people can come in. They can come in and do whatever they want to you because, yo, that's all right. Yeah. You just said you're not my property. You're not my responsibility. So fend for yourself. There are people already mad. They're already mad that you was living up here comfortable. You was living up here comfortable. Yo, y'all wasn't dying from starvation. Yo, when one of y'all got sick, they just wasn't letting you die. Especially if you was young and you was healthy. They wasn't letting you die. But if you white, yo, where your money at? I don't got no money. Well, I guess you gonna die. Right? Yo, man, my daddy died. Right? You got these blacks, and of course they wasn't saying blacks. You got these niggas over here. They living, they eating, right? So you got that animosity. You got that hatred brewing. That hatred is brewing from the lower class white people, the middle class white people, because you working hard. You working, you hustling hard, and you just look over here and boom, they got a whole community. They living like communists over here, right? Which that wasn't even a name. It wasn't even a factor, right? But that's how they was living. Everything was taken care of. So that hatred is already brewing. It's brewing. And then once they ended slavery, like, boom, they just gave them, yo, free reign. Yo, y'all just go over there. Because these slave owners, they were mad. They were butthurt that they took away my slaves. They took away my slaves. Right? So they mad. Yo, man, y'all do whatever. Like, yo, that's not my problem anymore. Because they like, yo, I'm going to show them. Right? I want y'all to show them what it's like not being under my I was protecting them. So that's where the brutality came in. It's during those times. And it was, boom, it was just like a anger and a hatred, right? And it just, boom, we felt it. We felt it hard. We felt it hard, but back when we were slaves, like, no, because that type of politic where, yo, you come in my house and you do something, you take something of mine, no, man. Especially at a time where Rich was really getting off, like, yo, I can just kill y'all, and I wasn't going to really do any jail. I wasn't going to jail. I can just pay him. I just pay the sheriff, right? I could just pay him. I could pay it. Look, I just pay y'all. Y'all work for me. These are my cops. This is my force here, right? So they knew. Okay, so you got the opposite, but like we said, with the politics, if you got an opposite faction, and me and him having problems, it's just going to trickle down. So now, if I'm paying the police, yo, man, y'all need to rough that up, rough that up. We need to break all of that up so that I can get it. That's the whole lot. That's the whole plan. Right. And we went on all of this as just as saying that we were entertainers. Right. But hey, look, that's just the way it is sometimes. OK, that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Things will never be the same. Oh. Right. So at least we can sneak that in every episode. We can at least sneak that in every episode. And that's how we're going to do it. Okay. So this one is not going to be we're going to stop it here. That's about, close to 90. We're going to give them a good 90, good 90 minutes, just because I don't want to be up late, just up all night And what I'll probably do moving forward, I might just do a different day. So probably on my day off. So that way, I can do it early, but it'll still release. It'll still release like Wednesday, Thursday, right? So I can do that, and that's probably what I will do. Yeah, I have a number, but I got to figure it out. I got to figure out, okay, how am I going to get it out? I guess I can just keep saying it to the, just keep promoting it on here. Yeah. Let's go ahead. And I gotta turn the computer on so that I can upload this episode. Who knows what I'm gonna call it? Who knows? But if you guys have any comments that you would like read, or not even read, but you can do that, if you want me to read it, I guess, leave it in a message. But if you have any comments about today's episode or any past episodes, you can leave a message on my Google Voice number, which is 304-410-0363. That's 304-410-0363. So just hit me up there, leave a message, any ideas, any thoughts on what we talked about today, and I'll play it and address whatever. We'll do that at the beginning of each episode. Now, I didn't see any messages on so that's why I didn't play any, but I would have, right? I didn't see it. I'm sure it would have gave me some type of notification. I'm opening it up now, but I'll leave like a question. Yeah, so we good. I didn't get any. So I'll leave a question. I'll probably post that on my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So that way we can kind of have like a dialogue, right? One thing that I do want to kind of touch over just quick and briefly was just from the last episode, I don't want it to seem like, look, I'm just this brutal, powerful Genghis Khan type of guy. Nah, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. It really just had to do with me hanging around bullies and tough guys, and that's really what helped. But I never really liked hurting people, even the people that I fought, and even the guy who got me, when I was in the 6th grade and him and his friend jumped me. It's like, look, man, you take the Scooby snacks, right? You made it. So, you can't really dwell on that type of stuff. I think a lot of times when you're angry, you just feel like, yo, I'm going to just do whatever. But once you calm down from that type of stuff, it's like, it doesn't really matter. I got my health, I got this, I got that. So it's really no big deal. Right. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway. Right. And I definitely wanted to speak on, I really was thinking about the girls situation. Right. And I will say that. And yeah. Some of the stuff that I talk about, it will be a little sad, it will be depressing, but from my perspective, I'm not speaking of it, and I'm not speaking on it from a depressed state. It's just, look, this is the way it was, and this is just regular life. Like I didn't look at it like, yo, be sad, like it wasn't like that. It's like, yo, this is just life, right? So some of my stories will we'll go there. We'll seem like, yo, this is sad, but you got to always remember that from the standpoint and the perspective of actually in it, in the thick of it, nah, because this is the only thing you know. This is the only reality that you know. So this isn't sad. This is just life, right? So, but I can't wait for next week. Next week is going to be a good one. But you never know, like, far as from you guys, like, yo, is it going to be good? Like, nah, man, this was a crappy one, you know, so I don't know from your perspective, but I'm definitely excited. And, yeah, and that's that. Like I said, if you have any comments on today's episode, just leave them on that number, that Google voice number, and I will play it on the next episode. And don't be like, yo, man, I'm gonna just wait for somebody else, and then after they do it, and then several people, then I must. Nah, man, you can be the first. You can be number one. I'm number one. So yeah, that's that. You guys have a good one. Like I said, I really don't know what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. So. Because I think I was going on a direction mainly about entertainment, but that was based, who knows where it was, you know what I mean? Before we started talking about the entertainment led us to slavery and all of that. But before that, like, who knows where it was going? So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but we'll figure it out. We have a couple minutes to think about it. So yeah, that's that. And you guys have a good week. Reese's PCC.